Hello there.
General Kenobi!
Hello there.
Here we go.
Incoming transponder code received. Classification: fire spray. Designation: Darth Asylum. Captain: unknown. Port: unknown. Weapons profile: unknown. Designation: Darth Asylum. Incoming transponder code received. Classification: fire spray. Designation: Darth Asylum. Captain: unknown. Port: unknown. Weapons profile: unknown. Designation: Darth Asylum.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Hello there.
Here we go. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you awesomely beautiful people of the galaxy, and welcome again to another episode of the Darth Asylum podcast. Yes, this is episode number 12. Yes, episode 12. I am your host of Darth Asylum, broadcasting live from hyperspace. And yes, we are back. It is Wednesday, and we are back with another podcast, watching Andor Season 1, Episodes 4, 5, and 6 this episode, and we will finish watching next week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 the following week, and then do Season 2 pretty much the same way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then finish everything off with a nice dose of Rogue One, because I have not personally finished Season 2, but before we get into all of that, let us first say, I hope you guys are having a great and safe week in your parts of the galaxy. We made it halfway through, so we just have to do a little bit more to make it to the weekend, so let's do that, or at least plan on it anyway, right? And first, let us recognize all the legends that are among us before in both Twitch and YouTube, because we stream on both. So first, we will check out who was on YouTube first. So first, we have Budman. If you're still there, hello there, sir. Yes, I am a cosplaying Mandalorian Jedi, both streaming on Twitch and YouTube. This is my casual wear because I do not wear the full Beskar armor typically, because this is just a little bit more comfortable for me anyway. But either way, yep, that is what the channel is about. We are chill. We are basically nerds too that love everything: Star Wars, Lego, Warhammer, Warcraft, Lord of the Rings, whatever you want to call it, Star Trek. I mean, it's not all about Star Wars, even though that could be blasphemy to some people, but yes, that is what the channel is about. Wednesday night is my podcast. Stream days are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wednesday night is the Watch podcast, and Thursday through Sunday is games, but I'll get into that in a second. So that was for Bud. Bacon is back. Hello, man. Welcome back, sir. John, Darkside4. What is this channel? We just kind of explained that right now, but welcome in, man. Yep, a Mandalorian cosplay would totally suit me. Yes. I am but one of many right now that are representing on Twitch that do represent the Mandoverse. But yes, thank you for jumping in, man, to the channel. Greatly appreciate it, dude. Hope you have a great time here. Let us see. I think is about it just for now for YouTube. Let us go over to Twitch and see who is over here on Twitch. We have Gravewalker1578. So again, another Mandalorian, Brolorian that is, representing cosplaying Mandalorians on Twitch. Gravewalker1578, Shadowlex13, our rave partner, is with us. Lord is back with us for Andor. Absolutely. I'm super stoked to actually be jumping back into Andor. Absolutely. Let's see who else jumped in. Anybody else raving with us? Nothing. That is right. Nothing is with us as well. Welcome back. Nothing. That might be it for the moment. But yes, like I always say, I do not call out anybody particularly lurking, only because I do not want to bring a spotlight on anybody that just doesn't choose to want to be seen. But you are definitely seen and heard from me, so thank you for the lurks. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Alpha Virgo just stopped back into again. Wow, it's Thursday already. Week's flying by. Andor. Oh yes, absolutely. I am super pumped. Super pumped. Yes. So we have already last week's, so again, I'll go over the schedule real quick just for those of us or anybody that's new to the stream that does not know what my schedule is. Yes. So ultimately I try to stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, attempting to usually start around 12 midnight my time. That is Pacific West Coast time. Wednesday night is the podcast. Thursday is my Let's Play. So currently right now I'm playing some Dark Souls Remastered. Fridays and Saturdays it's kind of becoming more of like a variety game night. So I'm either doing like some MMOs like Star Wars The Old Republic or World of Warcraft or things like that. Or even like Star Wars Battlefront 2 or Battlefield 6, or even that can fall into like Helldivers 2 or Fallout 76, or even some Arc Raiders, things like that. And then Sunday night is some Dead by Daylight. So some fun in the fog, getting killed and hooked and chased by killers. That's typically what we've been doing recently anyway. But yes, back to the podcast. The podcast is a talk watch party. So essentially, even though Twitch and YouTube do not allow us to physically watch what we want to watch, basically the point of the podcast, we watch it separately, but while we're watching, we talk and chat, and basically the floodgates get opened, and you tell me exactly how you feel. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever. It's like, I want to hear from you guys. So ultimately, while we're watching it, it's just a watch party, but it's streamed and televised, basically. So ultimately, we can have some fun, get some stuff done, but my side goal with Andor, much like everything else with this podcast, is going to be finally actually finishing season 2 because I only started like the first 2 episodes of season 2, but never actually finished it. But I have watched Rogue One, but it's crazy been a minute. So either way, it's going to be fun. We're already almost halfway done with Andor season 1, so it's going to go kind of fairly quick. Over the next couple of months, if anything, then that's exactly what it's going to be. Roadblocks is back with us. Hello there, sir. But yeah, ultimately, we're having fun. Yeah, Thursday already. Like, Grave asked how everybody's doing. I was just like, it's been a day, man. It has absolutely been a day, but I'm glad to have made it through, and either way, be able to sit here, hang out, watch some Andor, chat with you guys, and just have some fun. But yes, that is pretty much the point. So what I'm going to do before, because also if the podcast, well, actually, no, it's not too bad. I was going to say, the solo podcast finally got uploaded because it got blocked because of the Boba Fett actually crawling out of the Sarlacc. It got flagged for the music playing in that clip, so I had to re-edit it, so it basically muted that little like 5-second section out, and then was able to re-upload it, because all my podcasts are actually not only saved on YouTube permanently, but they are actually uploaded to iHeartRadio and Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, so they're there too. So anyway, knock on Beskar. Oh yeah, Beskar hugs for everybody. I keep forgetting to do that. Beskar hugs for you. You. Everybody. Why? Because everybody deserves a hug at some point in the day, regardless. Okay, so we are going to look up Andor season 1, because I am going to do a recap regardless every episode, just because, not a recap, but I mean like an intro to the show, just so that way, I mean, anybody kind of tuning in new kind of knows exactly what it is we're watching and kind of what it is. I also like hugs. Everybody likes a hug. Yeah, Graves getting close, man. He's building his stuff. Absolutely. And I trust Wikipedia, so that is the source for. Let's see. This is Wikipedia. Should have an edge. Right. Let's close all the stuff that we don't need. Then we'll get going. Let's see. Andor season 1. So I'll go ahead and do a little recap of just overall what the show's about, and then we'll get right into actually watching, so that way everybody doesn't get to stay up crazy late either way. But you know what? Hey, that's why I get to be late night morning show either way, because you know what? these are the times that I get to torture myself. So, you know what? Might as well have some fun while we get to be up. Okay, so let's see. Andor Season 1 is the first season of the Star Wars Andor, which comprises, I can't speak. What? Hunter gifting subs. Dude, thank you, man. Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. Miss Vero got a sub. That is freaking crazy awesome. Weirdly enough, too, and I need to jump in her stream and thank her because somebody in her community gifted actually me a sub to her channel. But me and Miss Vero actually share the same birthday, believe it or not. So Miss Vero got one, OG Rampage got one, Handsome got one, Taka got one, Lord Maru got one. That is freaking awesome, man. Yeah, no, thank you guys again for the freaking support, everything, anything. Like I said, whether it be just hanging out, chatting with us, lurking, throwing follows, throwing subs, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything at all. But thank you guys again for your time, your effort, your patience. Remember, again, everybody deserves the Beskar hug at some point in their day. Always, always, always. So no, thank you guys again for the crazy support always. Okay, so where did we leave off? The intro. And then Hunter had to just jump right in and just start throwing credits around. This one kind of gets hard to see when those little things go off, but this is
spare any credits.
That's what gets to play when that happens, essentially. Okay, so compromises, which comprise. Keep saying compromise. See, I can't even speak tonight. Which comprises of 12 episodes and premiered on September 21st, 2022 on Disney Plus. The season is set in 5 BBY. Let us see. I think that was pretty much it, really. Yeah, that's basically it. So we've already watched the first 3 episodes. I will tell you right now, Hot Pepper. So we already watched last Wednesday's podcast. We physically watched the first 3 episodes, which was Casa, which, come to find out, is basically Cassie and Andor's nickname, essentially, when he was a child. So Casa, that would be me, episode 2, and Reckoning, episode 3. So tonight, we are actually going to physically watch episode 4, Aldhani, 5, The Axe Forgets, and episode 6, The Eye. So essentially, after tonight, we will be actually done with the first half of season 1 of Andor. So ultimately, Hot Pepper, this is my podcast, and it's a little bit different than I think other podcasts and the way those are done. So basically, to boil it down, it's a watch party. But even though Twitch and YouTube does not allow us to physically stream it while we can actually watch it, we watch it separately, like through Disney, tablet, phone, whatever, PC, laptop. But either way, I set the timer, basically say, this is when we're starting it, and we just watch them all, start to finish. We just got done. The first 9 episodes of my podcast was literally us sitting here watching. Every single episode was 1 episode of the Skywalker saga. So literally the first 9 episodes of the podcast was literally episode 1, The Phantom Menace, episode 2, Attack of the Clones, episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, episode 4, New Hope, episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, episode 6, Return of the Jedi, episode 7, The Force Awakens, episode 8, The Last Jedi, and episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. Episode 10 happened to be Solo, a Star Wars story, because currently right now, other than those movies, the only other 2 movies currently out right now are Solo and Andor, or Rogue One, actually. So we're going to watch Andor season 1 and 2, and then finish it with Andor. And then go from there after that. So essentially, yeah, this is a... Yeah, so like I said, this is a watch party. It's live, so essentially, once I hit the timer, that's the timestamp for where we're at. Now I'll update the episode number as we kind of just jump around, because basically we'll watch the intro, essentially we'll do we'll basically, once you play it, you just watch it, because there's an option to like skip the recaps and all that stuff, but it kind of refreshes everything that's going on anyway. So yeah. Ooh, Twitch, I don't have Disney at the moment. But that's okay, because even if you can't physically watch it with us, I mean, if you're up for it and you know anything about it or have questions, dude, shoot them out. Seriously, because I mean, I want to hear just back from you, because as we're watching it, we're talking and chatting regardless. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's essentially how the podcast works, which I mean, I love the idea personally just because it's giving me the time and actual ability to watch things finally, and then also be able to interact with everybody at the same time. So yeah, I mean, Discord allows you to do watch parties and things like that, but this way it's actually a stream, and I can call it a podcast too, and talk show basically at the same time. So you guys are all the guests essentially. So yeah, let's watch and talk while we see this stuff. I might be up very late tonight. Yeah. Oh, we have an ad starting right now anyway. So I'll finish. We'll get started after the ad break, which is a couple more minutes. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything, definitely let me know. I'm pretty sure I'm already set up. So yeah, basically there's going to be a 3-minute ad break on Twitch real quick. So once that's over with, then yeah, we'll definitely get things going. I'm already basically queued up, so we can start and get things going. But no more ads for you. Exactly. See? That's why I throw the disclaimer in there, only because just so people know. I mean, if you're on Twitch, YouTube doesn't get ads right now, just because that's just how, well, actually, no, they do get ads, but only I don't think you get ads on live, actually. I think you only get ads for, like, when you watch something that's like uploaded or whatever. But yeah. But either way, the yeah, I throw in the disclaimer for Twitch just because that's like the easiest way to not only let people know how you can skip the ads, but at the same time, like that's from my research anyway, that's like the easiest way to be able to still, like, because you have to have ads regardless, I think. I mean, it's like just something that's going to happen. So to minimize as much possible, you just it's easier just to clump it within the hour and just say, hey, there's going to be an ad break. Here it is, FYI. But again, there's options to try to get around that. And I learned actually quite a bit about what actually using, what is it? Because a channel sub obviously is like the regular sub that, channel sub is a sub, basically. Same thing with Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can dedicate, because you get one free sub a month, so you can dedicate that to somebody. But then I found out actually that Twitch Turbo, like basically if you subscribe to Twitch Turbo, it's like a monthly subscription, but you don't get ads when you jump around to different channels. But when you do watch a channel, the person you're watching does kind of get some kind of like monetized because of your subscription. So it's like, because you pay for like a general subscription, like a sub essentially for everybody, the streamer does get like something out of it, which is actually pretty cool. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. So yeah. Dynamo is back. What is going on, Dynamo? Yep, I'm just waiting for this ad break to end, and then we are going to get started with season 1 of Andor, episode 4, and then we're going to watch episode 5 and 6 right after that. So each episode's about 40-ish minutes or so, but it's been pretty quick, to be honest. So yeah, typically I'm trying to keep the podcasts particularly under 3 hours, just because if I have to edit anything out, 3 hours is pretty much the max limit for that anyway. So it's okay. We find ways around everything. Yeah, we're just hanging, waiting for that car commercial to end, basically. But yep, we are just chilling. Everyone thought actually I was Django Fett when I first started streaming, because like I had blue, like my entire paint, like it was the same gray, but like all the trim around here was just like blue, like blue, like bright blue. So yeah, everybody thought I was Django Fett, and I was like, well, it is Django Fett inspired. I mean, Boba and Django, of course, because it's like silver and stuff. Um, but no, that's perfectly fine. I would love to see A custom one, yeah. I mean, even the I think even oh, the ad breaks are over. Cool. I think they even have one that's a Black Series Jango Fett. I think. Let me look that up really quick. I thought they did. Deal sell custom helmets, but I guess other people have it for sale, but not. Okay. Well, all right. Either way, Sophie is back. She's gonna talk through Andor and make us all hungry again. That's why we love Sophie. Saltines are good. All right. Let's see. Saltines. Live action, yeah, essentially. Well, yeah. it's canonically, yes, I think. Well, even then, I mean, because Jasper Muriel had this style helmet too, so I don't know. I'm sure definitely it's debatable. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely agree with you, but yeah. I'm sure there's other fans out there that would be like, well, technically no, because he got his helmet from, but yeah, it's all good. Okay, so let us see. I think we should be. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and queue up. So, like I said, Andor, Season 1, Episode 4. We are after. Here we go. I will do Order 66 first. And then.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
I'm just a fan, too. Like I said, I definitely do not. I mean, there is information out there, absolutely, but I absolutely do not know everything, and I do stand corrected. I let anybody that definitely knows more than I do definitely step in for sure. Definitely. So, all right, guys, here we go. So after Jokers, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and hit play and then get it started so we can get going. So.
And here we go.
And we're going. Officially started. If it'll load. There we go. And we even got volume out of it too. Hopefully it should play. Previously on Andor. Two of our men are dead because they've made that mistake. Armed and dangerous. See, one thing that absolutely threw me off, and spoiler alert to anybody that has not absolutely seen Andor, was just he can actually be pretty cutthroat, actually. This one, basically, I have already seen Andor season 1 in its entirety. Yes, I've seen this. We're just rewatching it from the beginning just to get refreshed in it. And then I have not actually seen the entirety of Andor season 2. Like, I I started it like maybe the first one or two episodes out of the entire season 2, but have not just completely watched it. So that's coming up soon. So yeah, I'm not only stoked just to be able to sit and watch season 1 again, but also be able to sit and watch season 2 finally. Like I said, this is much like my Thursday night Let's Play series. It's like this is literally giving me a reason to finally watch this stuff in some way, shape, or form, or play this stuff. So I mean, like right now I'm playing Dark Souls for the first time. So anything I play on my Thursday night streams, like that is like the first time I've ever touched that game, started playing something from start to finish. So yeah, anything that they've published at this point that's a live action like movie or film or TV show or anything like that is considered canon. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I think you meant like, yeah, is it new Star Wars lore in the sense of like, so it's still the first order? No, 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 no. This takes place during like the Empire. So 5 BBY is basically like during the reign of the Galactic Empire. So yes, when the Emperor is the Emperor, there's stormtroopers, the Empire has already taken over the galaxy. 5 BBY is basically 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. So yeah, I mean, essentially episode 4. Episode 4 is like the timeline like 0 essentially. So anything like ABY is after the Battle of Yavin, BBY is like before the Battle of Yavin. So like that's like the timeline essentially is like Yavin, there's Yavin, and then anything that happens before and afterward. Yeah. So if you ever see like this for instance, when I read it, like this series right here takes place 5 BBY, which means it takes place 5 years before Star Wars Episode 4, because they had to make like some kind of like spot of a timeline and basically say, like this is when it starts and then this is like which way we go. But yeah, a really cool aspect of this show that I did not see is that there are dual stories being told here. Actually, there's multiple stories being told, but two very specific dual stories that are being told throughout this show, and that's freaking awesome, man. You don't know. That's funny you say that, actually, because um, I would say Empire, based off of Empire. So essentially, one of these guys. One of those guys. Which, by the way, I finally, and Grave, if you're listening or watching, um, finally finished my Stormtrooper cosplay. Like, it's done. Basically, it's done. Done for now, meaning, Like I was able to generally finish it to a point where I can actually stream with it. Yes. Yeah, I've always loved like the generic stormtrooper look. I mean, First Order, I give them credit for kind of like modernizing the trooper look, and that's another thing I need to get at some point. Is like I want to get like a generic clone trooper helmet. Like I have stormtrooper helmets now, and I say helmets because I actually have three of them at this point. But I will get into that when I cosplay with it, or that story. But yeah, so I've ultimately always lean more just because like the basic trooper look, especially like when you play like Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2, particularly like I always play like the assault class. So like that's the stormtrooper or the rebel trooper, like where you're just a stormtrooper with a blaster going off and just getting shot. Yeah, basically. And I can honestly admit, now that I have a set for myself to cosplay in, it is as uncomfortable as it absolutely looks. Yes. So I will not be cosplaying with it the entire stream because it is freaking miserable to get to wear. It really is. But it's cool to have. I will absolutely say that. But yeah. Um and it's classic essentially, but yeah, I do want to at least at some point have, like, now that I have a stormtrooper helmet, like I want to go back and get like a clone trooper helmet and get like, a first order, helmet, things like that. Kay is back. Kay, how are you?
Hello there.
What do we do here? And this is another part right here that I love. Well, actually, we just saw another part too, but um when they showed like the actual Senate, like on Coruscant and stuff like that, like there are, like I said, there's multiple dual stories here, but like not only is it Andor, like because it's the show is it's called Andor, so obviously Andor is a big part of it, but they also have side stories with like Imperial intelligence and Mon Mothma, which I had no idea that they threw into the show, which I think is freaking awesome. So you actually get to see like the bureaucracy and the Imperial intelligence, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. Probably the Death Trooper, I would say. Like if I had to pick like a specialized class, but honestly, trooper wise, I would actually say Crimson Guard. Like if I had to classify them all, like Stormtroopers the classic, sure. I would say Death Trooper probably like would be up there, but for me, but I would definitely say one of my personal favorites is Crimson Guard. Like I would love, love, love to freaking make a Crimson Guard cosplay. That would be cool. Oh, absolutely, Kay. That, like I just said, I mean, I was so freaking shocked when I first watched season one, and again, no spoilers, at least to anybody, but multiple storylines are being told through Andor, and it's great because we actually get to see like Mon Mothma and have see her story and like the politics side and just like the subterfuge and sneakiness and just that's part of why I can't wait for season two because it's like I want to see what happens. Maybe it's the one which I'll have to double check. Not the Or is it the Dark Troopers? Do I keep thinking they're the Dark Troopers? I know what you're talking about for the Death Troopers, though. Yeah, maybe I'm getting them confused. Death Troopers. I don't remember. No, they are Death Troopers. I think they're human in Battlefront though. They're not like the Death Troopers that were in what is it, like Ahsoka and Mandalorian and stuff like that, where they were like robots. Yeah, they were the Death Troopers are the bodyguards of Director Krennic. Yeah. They were the elite soldiers of Imperial intelligence. Death Troopers live up to their name through skill, deadly weaponry, and superior armor. So they were basically the Crimson Guard, essentially. Like Crimson Guard are Palpatine, Death Troopers were Krennic. But we will see them in Rogue One, I believe, right? If I completely remember any of my mythology. It's another perfect example of like storytelling. Like even with, again, that's what I mean. It's like we're huge fans of like what we absolutely love and like, what we don't like, things like that, right? But that's always been one of like the key points of Star Wars, the universe in general, that I've always loved, is how just crazy in depth they can do with characters and things and stories, and just like it's not all about the Empire or the Republic or Luke, Han, and Leia and Chewie and like all those characters. It's like there's like such a bigger universe out there too, that I mean it's cool to finally see more stuff. Yeah. He has a mercenary. Yeah. Essentially. Was that what it was? The Mando droids? Yeah. I remember yeah, Moff Gideon had some stuff over there working too, but I couldn't remember. Again, it's late and I can barely function anyway, so that's, thank you. Thank you for corrections. Like that's what I kept thinking when he said he thought Death Troopers were droids, and I was like I immediately thought of those ones. Yeah. That's the advantage of parental. Those. Like I said, I'm barely surprised I have as much patience and energy and just some kind of knowledge left up here by the time I start streaming. It's like Star Wars, yes. That's why I have a poster to remind us. This is what we're watching. But yeah, there's the cool thing too, and what I love is like falling down that rabbit hole. Like the rabbit hole of just you see a character or you hear something and you look it up, and then it ties into something which ties into something which ties into something, and then each one of those things just like splinters off into something crazy else, and it's just now they're in trouble. Deputy Inspector Cod. See, I completely forgot that they were like a corporate run government, like security agency, like police, basically, corporate run police. If you ever get a chance to, which I'm pretty sure you probably have if you know anything about the Crimson Guards, is read Crimson Empire. Those are freaking awesome comics because it goes into how they become Crimson Guards. You know, like the training and the armor that they're wearing underneath the robes. Because all we ever see is just them with a force pike and their helmets and just red robes and stuff. But it's like again going down that rabbit hole of just content and just like expanding something that barely showed up with something. It's like those guys are freaking awesome too. And it's cool to see them like in the prequel era, kind of evolving, being like Senator Palpatine's guards, and then like eventually turning over and becoming, you know, Crimson Guards, and we don't. I don't remember, but we don't really even see. Well, actually, we do Snow Chasm, but they're the same but different. Yeah. Yeah. Essentially, that's yeah. Kay said, "Yep, that's what they love about Star Wars too. Is such a rich universe to get lost in. That's a thing. But it's not just Star Wars though. I mean, it's Lord of the Rings, it's Star Trek. I mean, it's just these defined universes that are just so freaking big, and like, and I'm not even like scratching the surface on like other like universes too, like Dune. Like Grave Walker's a huge Dune fan, and I've never seen anything about Dune, and it's like that's a whole nother like universe, sci-fi, that's like something to get into. Which are Chorus and Guard, inspired. Yeah, I was gonna say expired, but yeah, I guess they technically got expired because they killed him. But yeah. Same concept, just you know, they were probably running out of recruits, like at that point, to be honest. But yeah, you're right. They were harvesting kids. Yeah, to basically train them young. So almost essentially, they were kind of doing the same thing Jedi were doing, but they were forcefully taking them and making them soldiers. They basically, yeah, just like said, okay, we're taking that group over there, and you're going to be soldiers for us. And you're absolutely right, Kay. I mean, that's the thing, though. Is yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, Hot Pepper, had some kind words for me saying I'm like the lore guy too, and I love lore, absolutely love lore, but yeah, there's just so much knowledge to know that it's hard to be somebody who just knows everything because there's always something to learn, which is cool. And they are built off the remnants of the Empire, yeah, essentially. But that's another thing that they don't really get into is like what happened. And I think that's the direction. And you bring up a really good point, Hot Pepper. I love it. Is, conversation wise, is that like that leads totally into, I think, Ahsoka, because the there's a gap in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, like timeline movie wise, right? Or show wise, because ultimately, like, you don't ever really see like where the First Order technically came from, or how they built up the way they did, and what happened to the Empire. So there's like a void in between those films, and that's what they're trying to do with Thrawn, and essentially, Ahsoka series. And they're probably going to come out with a movie, to be honest with you, and fill in that gap of like that in between of like, okay, what happened to the Empire ultimately after Return of the Jedi, and then what built the First Order. So then that way there's some kind of like, because we all obviously know that like First Order is remnants from the Empire, but like what exactly happened? I mean, Yeah. And even Kay just said, yeah, 30 years is the gap in between. And, the Mandoverse, yeah, exactly. Like Mandalorian and Grogu, Ahsoka, things like that. Like those shows are all building into that, like, that gap essentially to kind of fill in that lore, which is great. Right. And then also, like, being able to see, them building exactly like Kate said. Another reason why I like a Luke's Jedi Academy show is like, somehow, some way they're gonna funnel maybe something like that in there. And also, like, when Rey's New Jedi Order comes out, like, I'm really interested to see how they work that in there because, hopefully we'll be able to get to see both. Maybe we'll get to see, like, Luke building his Jedi Academy and then Rey, like, taking things from that, from Luke's Force Ghost or something. I mean, who knows how they write it, but there's tons of possibility either way you look at it. Yep. And our earbud just fell out. Well, that works. We can still hear. But yeah, I also read a lot of the non canon, the legend stuff and or expand EU stuff too. And it's like I want to see because ultimately Dave Filoni is pulling stuff from those universes too, that multiverse kind of thing too. So um yeah, I'm really curious to see how they continue on like with everything. That's why I think they're filling in the gap for that. Right. Because I mean, as as honestly, it's crazy to think because I mean, it's almost like I want to say that it sounds like like Palpatine like controlled the galaxy, but he did it through fear, but didn't have enough resources either to be able to keep that hold. So once the Death Star finally got blown up in Return of the Jedi, because it was technically twice at that point, like and the Emperor himself, like everything fell apart. But that's why I'm curious to see what Thrawn's return is going to bring as far as like the ultimate end of the Empire is going to be through Thrawn. So again, we got to wait and see, but we know it's coming because they're definitely not going to be able to finish the entire story of Thrawn's return with like one season of Ahsoka. There's no way. So I mean, they'll probably set it up that way, and then like we'll see like maybe I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll do like a trilogy of like Thrawn trilogy kind of thing where it's like a movie that just three movies back to back to back that's going to show us like the ultimate end of the Empire and the buildup of like the First Order. I mean, who knows? Ray's Academy would differ from the past. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing though, is that there's new rules. I mean, Luke's Academy did the same thing. Yeah. And even Yoda taught him that, was to basically rebuild it, but don't follow the same mistakes we did. And Luke totally broke the rules with it because he allowed emotion and marriage and children and, like basically built a family temple essentially out of it, which was crazy. So that's why I'm curious to see who's going to be in Rey's new Jedi Order because I want to say like it's going to be Cal Kestis and pretty much everybody that we know like Sabine Wren will be there, Ahsoka will be there, Cal Kestis will be there, Rey of course, and just other Jedi that have still lived at this point. Um, Yeah, I don't think they would either. I think Ahsoka season two honestly is just going to kind of be a build up to something like, yeah, the Heir to the Empire film, or maybe even a couple of films, because they're taking chances with everything regardless. But um, I can't stand Ray for some reason. Well, and that's another reason why Broom Boy. That's another reason why I'm curious to see um Maul Shadow Lord, because the rumor mill that I've heard has talked about Maul having ties with Starkiller. So like the official like canon something about Starkiller. I personally don't know. That's just what I've heard, is that there's like either references or tie-ins or something to do with a character that is actually Starkiller. So who knows? You know. Yeah, like bringing Finn back in, it's like Jedi training and things like that. Like I would absolutely love to see that. You were gonna bring that up. That's what I mean. Is I personally haven't seen Maul Shadow Lord yet because it's already out, and I think at least the first few episodes have been released, and that's the rumor mill. The rumor mill says that there are tie-ins to Star Killer. So again, I don't know for sure, but that's what's being said. So I would, and we know Sam Witwer would love to frickin' physically, like real life, bring Star Killer to the screen. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. He does Maul and Star Killer, and he physically is Star Killer. Like he is, like, like they took his likeness and made him Star Killer. So it's like they would obviously have to maybe tone him down, or they could even bring him back as the big bad because Star Killer was a bad guy. So I mean, he could be the person that, or the Darth that comes back to challenge Rey and her new Jedi Order. It could be Star Killer. I mean, who knows? You know. I mean, there might be tie-ins for that too, because Vader, Palpatine was in for cloning. If you've ever played, again, spoiler alert, Force Unleashed, cloning was a big part of Palpatine's deal, a big part of Plagueis's deal, a big part of Star Killer's deal. So, you know, as I knock everything over. Ooh, Mon Mothma. Yeah, absolutely. See, this was the scene that threw me off. Was Mon Mothma showing up in the gallery? No harm in looking. Yeah, yeah. This is the part where I was just like, wait a minute. They got a little side thing going here. Not romantically, obviously, but there's like stuff going on at this point. But yeah, that's why K, even with the sequel trilogy, I mean, like it didn't really surprise me that like Palpatine came back through cloning, or like Snoke turned out to be like a clone of Palpatine or whatever, right? Like I really wasn't surprised by that, because again, like coming from Legends or the expanded universe, whatever you want to call it, like exactly, yeah, cloning has been a huge part of, main story points too. So it was kind of like it wasn't a surprise for me to see to look and go, oh, they used that in this series. Okay, you know. Wrap this up. Oh, laying seeds for the rebellion. Yeah. As soon as she leaves, and that just like look of just like oh my god, like that anxiety. It's just everyone can feel that. Are you talking Hunter? Are you talking about episode 6, Return of the Jedi, or are you talking about in the like the sequel trilogy? 3 days out? We have parts. That's all we need. Sequel trilogy. I mean, yeah. I mean, they could have definitely saved that for. I mean, honestly, they could have saved that for Rey's New Jedi Order series. I mean, but they were able to use, you know, who was he? Clem. Yeah, it's McDermott. I couldn't remember his. I think it was McDermott, but it was McDermid. Yeah. Well, Ian was still around. I mean, they were able to use him, which was cool. But yeah, this like side story, well, one of many side stories of Mon Mothma. I mean, was really cool because it's really showing you like the other side that like nobody has seen ever again, like what her life was like, family, just that's what we were literally just talking about. Was like I would love to personally see, like we literally were just saying. I mean, what if Starkiller was like a clone Starkiller came back as Rey's new villain or something, or who knows? Because she's gonna have to have, I would think anyway. It's like the Sith are gonna come back because after the sequel trilogy, she shifts it to where the light side's dominant. So I was gonna the Sith, the Sith, the Sith are gonna have to come back in a major way after that. So it's gonna be big. And honestly, Starkiller could fit that role because it would have to be a Sith crazy powerful enough that would almost like rival Palpatine essentially, or that could be a true threat in that sense. So you never know. Could you imagine if like Revan and Starkiller came back? Like somebody cloned Revan and Starkiller and brought him back to like be like, all right, take over, master and apprentice. Must everything be boring and sad? I wonder what they're gonna do with that. Yeah. That's curious. Kay says they have a theory about Darth Talon being the new foe in the post sequel era that ties into the Maul series out now. Yeah, it could be anybody at this point. I definitely don't think it's going to be Palpatine. Like he won't come back again, but I think at least, yeah, it's gonna be some crazy just Darth Nihilus kind of vibes, something that's just galaxy threatening, but in a Sith way. Not necessarily like, but see, that's going to be the interesting kind of choice, though, is that, see, like prequel, original, and sequel trilogy is all about like something taking over the universe, but like in like an empire way, or like, the lead up to that, or even the aftermath with like the First Order trying to like take over the galaxy. But I think Rey's trilogy is going to be more focused like on light side, dark side versus like take over the galaxy type of thing. But it's more like pure evil versus pure good type of, But yeah, at this point, yeah, he's still alive because it's 5 BBY. So he's still alive, and even in the sequel trilogy, we saw him. So I mean, he might make an appearance in like Mandalorian and Grogu or the Starfighters movie. I mean, he's definitely getting up in age for sure, but um we could see him somehow. Or even just in like cartoons or anime or something like that. Yeah. Or it could be Yuzhen Vong, yeah. Yeah, because ultimately, because what happened? I know I just looked that up actually not too long ago. What happened to the Jedi Temple? I know they took it over. Because after Order 66, the Jedi Temple on Coruscant was heavily damaged by fire and clones during the Operation Nightfall, then converted into Emperor Palpatine's Imperial Palace. So he took over the temple, which, okay, became his Imperial Palace. Palpatine transformed the Jedi stronghold into his personal residence, administrative office, and a museum for stolen Sith artifacts, using it as a daily reminder of his victory over the Order. So he pretty much rubbed it in pretty good there by just saying, that's my new home, is the Jedi Temple. Let's see. What happened after Return of the Jedi then? We say that following Return of the Jedi, the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, already converted into Palpatine's Imperial Palace, remained a heavily guarded dark symbol of the Fallen Order under the Empire's collapse. While the exterior spires remained, the interior was heavily modified with archives destroyed and the council chamber turned into a personal throne room for Palpatine. What happened? Following the Emperor Palpatine's death, the Jedi Temple, which had been converted into the Imperial Palace, was largely abandoned and fell into decay. Serving as a silent ruin for a time, it was later repurposed by the New Republic, which liberated Coruscant 3 years after Endor and began efforts to reclaim and restore the site. So, they didn't officially, like, destroy it, but Yeah. Dynamo, thank you for hanging, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. Dom is back. Welcome back, Dom. What's going on, man? We are learning lore about what happened to the Jedi Temple. The Jedi Temple existed, and then Order 66 hit, got kind of destroyed. Palpatine took it over as his own personal house as a big FU to the Order, essentially. Palpatine lived there and had a throne room in the actual council chambers. And then, eventually, after Palpatine died, it got abandoned. So yeah, that's actually a good possibility that Rey might come back and take it over. Because after the sequel trilogy, the new capital, they moved the capital from Coruscant to the other planet that got destroyed during the First Order. So they have to put the capital back somewhere after the sequels. So it might be Coruscant, and she might rebuild the temple there. Who knows? Yeah. Spino King is back. What's up, Spino? We're watching and talking. Lots of talking tonight, which I love it. I absolutely love it. Season 1, Episode 4, Andor, aka Clem in this episode. They're assaulting a garrison, or preparing to assault a garrison, that is. But yeah, we're talking about all sorts of stuff. We just went over the history of the Jedi Temple and ultimately what happened to it. 20 stream streak. Nice. Very cool.
It's my birthday!
We must have made Sophie pass out. I'm not even going to try to sync up. We're actually almost done right now, literally, with episode 4. So we're about to, and episode 4 just ended. So if you literally want to start episode 5 with us, you can. Spino. Like it just ended. Like episode 4 just ended. So I'll pause it for a second. If you wanna watch episode 5 and 6 with us, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you a second, sir. But yeah, officially we are done with season 4. Season 1, episode 4. So we need to update this. Episode 5 is what we're watching now. So we have 5 queuing up. So yes, if anybody wants to take a minute and queue up for Andor Season 1, Episode 5. We just finished 4. So that is what we are about to do in a minute or two. Yeah, we're actually still not too bad on time, too. Okay, so I have mine queued up, so we will go.
And here we go.
Go. Go. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once? The quarterly payroll for an Imperial site. Yeah. He's got that smuggler, scoundrel, you know, rogue. He's Clem. He's here. That's all that matters. Only Anakin has him be. And even his mother slaps him. Rates of payroll. Get to it. Let's get to it. Season 1, Episode 5, which is. I completely forgot the name. The Axe Forgets. We just finished Ald Honey. But yes, anybody that is tuning in, I can officially say at this point that I am at a point where I am done with my Stormtrooper cosplay. It did. While we're talking in chat, man, it's like it's like we're burning through all these, which is perfectly fine. That's what I want the podcast to be. Is just a cool talk and watch party. Absolutely. Yep. When we get to see it, I need to figure that out. Actually, we'll see. Sometime soon, though. Don't get me wrong. Definitely soon. I think the rumor mill actually. Let me see. They're doing an Andor prequel, maybe. Andor is a critically acclaimed Disney Plus live action spy thriller series serving as a prequel to Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The new I guess not. What I didn't know was that it said creator Tony Gilroy and star Diego Luna found the production timeline taking over 2 years per season unsustainable for a 5 season plan. Holy crap. Took them 2 years per season to do it. That's crazy. Is that an India? Yeah, because it says basically production costs. Even season two, it says it's all massive production costs with high record-setting expenses. That basically happened. So they're just like, okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. My custom lightsaber that I built for my cosplay, which I will absolutely, because I am going to, because now that I'm done with my Stormtrooper cosplay, I'm going to actually go back and fix up and kind of retune my cosplay, like my Mandalorian Jedi cosplay, and then fix some stuff, do some tweaks and things like that. And then I'm actually going to stream with it on again. And then I can show off the lightsaber and everything like that, my guns, and build one. Final. I'm serious, dude. Seriously, build one. Build one from scratch. Even if it doesn't light up with like, the blade and everything, dude, like you could still build it and actually have like the hilt for it. Build it. That's what I did with mine. Built it from scratch. Plenty, plenty, plenty of tutorials out there, dude. And you could literally build one for like $50, like something crazy cheap. Nothing will ever be good enough. That's the price we pay as cosplayers and artists and everything else, is that you see the faults in everything. So I mean, that's what I did, is I made a custom to me, lightsaber for my cosplay. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely get a replica, if that's like, something you want to have for yourself, absolutely. But if you yourself want like a lightsaber, I honestly say go custom, because that's the lore, is that you have to build it yourself, right? I mean, yes, their lightsabers are passed down and stuff like that, but that's always been part of the trials, is that you have to build it yourself. Oh, dude, I do have and I'll show that one off too, is that I gutted out a Luke lightsaber that I bought for the blade and like the internal electronics, because I didn't want to, well, I had all the programming stuff already done for mine, but then I was just like, you know what, it'll just be easier having it already done. So I basically bought a Luke lightsaber, created my hilt, and then gutted the parts out of that one and made it into mine with the blade and everything. So yeah, I mean, like I literally have like a Luke Skywalker lightsaber that I just have hung, up next to mine basically. So yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's again, same thing with like helmets and just anything else, is that it just depends on what you want to spend your credits on. I mean, it could be, that's why I love the Black Series, because I mean they're quality enough to where it's not breaking the bank or anything, but at the same time, like you get something pretty decently quality. But if you want like movie replica, 1-to-1 scaled, like perfection from like exact, that's when you start paying, yeah, like the $400, $500, $600 for like your lightsabers and your helmets and costumes and stuff like that, because yeah, they're like screen quality right out the gate. I mean, for what it's worth, I think they're reasonably priced compared to what I've seen for sure. Yeah, I mean, like movie quality stuff is pushing like $400, $500, $600 for like, oh, you want an actual replica helmet that was made from the exact mold from blah blah blah, and it's like crafted to the standards of like movie making kind of thing. It's like, it depends on where you go to, because there's a lot of replica stuff, but also if you go to cons and things like that with people selling them, I mean, Gray was able to find and hook up with a bunch of companies and stuff like that too, that had replica sabers for everybody and everything. But even those can get pricey, so it just depends. Because even my Luke lightsaber isn't like 1-to-1 replica scaled like movie quality. Like it is, because it's all machined and everything, but it's like the activator button is different kind of thing. So it's like little tiny things are different. essentially. But I'm sure they had to do that specifically because then it's like if they made a real Luke Skywalker lightsaber, it's like they'd get sued by Disney. So, you know, it's all. Yeah, even mine. I mean, it's like I can't even remember what I paid for it, but, you know, for what it was worth, still pretty decent. Oh yeah, you can because they're all like interchangeable, which helps. Fix it yourself. Probably. Tutorials, man. Two things. YouTube and forums. They're out there. That's how I was able to figure out mine. Because they have all the LED schematics and everything like that too to be able to hook things up, which I already did, but then I was just like, you know what? I want mine to work, so I just went ahead and bought it and gutted it. Everything else will have to wait. Again, just tons of freaking projects, tons of fun to have, you know, just that's why I was like, you know, okay, what am I going to work on? What am I going to work on right after doing the Stormtrooper? And I was like, you know what? I've literally sat on my armor for going on at least a couple years now and need to fix stuff on it regardless. So it needs a tune up. Absolutely. Yeah. But it'll be fun. It'll be absolutely fun to be able to jump back in and get stuff fixed up again. They're plotting and scheming. Plotting and maybe expenses. Yeah. Mm. So it's production basically. Rather than have the separate blades and stuff, they cut that out. Lower quality. You wanted to be sure. My ass on the line. We're pulling it out of there. He definitely plays a rogue really well. Lem. Have to keep moving the mouse so everybody can see where it is. Oh, gotcha. So you can basically switch them out at some point. Touch me. Don't touch me. We've seen them walk around. There's going to be a huge spike in merchandise anyway. I mean, once the newer stuff rolls out too. Wear a ball gown. Get it running. Yeah, basically. They're like, why sell both when you could sell each? Oh, the TIE fighter sound. It's funny you say that, Hot Pepper, because the big reveal I want to see in Mandalorian and Grogu is Mace Windu. That's because I know that, or I shouldn't say I know. As a fan, I absolutely hope that they're gonna show something that's just gonna like blow everybody's mind, and that's my wish is to see like Mace Windu make a return in that movie. Yep. Oh, you. Now I'm yawning. Or do a show or movie. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. We know he's alive. We just don't know the rest of his story yet. Where they're going forward with Ray no matter what, but hopefully we can get some kind of Mace something. Not yet. Don't make a soldier out of you yet. That's another rumor mill about this coming May the 4th. Even though there's not going to be a May the 4th celebration per se, like there's still going to be some kind of events and activities. So that's potentially one of them is an actual like the Old Republic or a KOTOR. Yeah, a KOTOR like trailer or something to show. Who's spread out to be organized? EA won't do anything with Battlefront anymore, which is fine. Jack is back. Hello there, sir. EA has made it very clear that they are done, I think, at this point with doing any Star Wars related content.
Hello there.
After they do the third and final Outcast this game, I think Star Wars wise, I think they're out at that point. I think it'd be a fair assumption that they would be out at that point. Yeah. Stay focused, Clem. To the rebellion. Oh, is it? Yeah, the mall show season finale is on May the 4th, so that's yeah, a couple more weeks essentially at this point. I mean, it's closing in. He's sitting there eating blue cereal. Well, cereal with blue milk probably. There's so many stories that are playing out right now. It's actually really freaking cool. We should be on because we still got about 10 more minutes, I think, of this episode, and then we got the last episode, which is like another 30, 40 minutes. So we should be still here, Dom. Yep. Everyone has their own rebellion. Yeah, hopefully at some point soon I'll make some time and watch Mall Shadow Lord. Because to my understanding, at least, that it's basically him building up his like criminal empire, like basically the tie-in with Solo, essentially. Yeah, absolutely. Plainly and quickly. Get all those credits. Look at all those lovely, lovely credits. What are you doing? I topped out on questions. You give them the stone. You can kill each other later. Eating up an Andor. That's actually really true. Kay says every character with more than a line or two of dialogue rebels in some way. Yeah, all of them. Don't use me as an excuse. The older I get, the more gaming feels dead. That's why you got to find joy in something at some point, I guess. There is still playability in even the Battlefront classic, the redo that I picked up. Even like I was able to get into some lobbies and stuff like that, and actually be able to play with people. So there is still activity. I mean, it may not be the same, but it's, what are you planning on telling me about this new foundation? Hmm? What's his name? Mon Mothma seems super excited. She's like, "Ugh." Sneaking up here for months. That's when you say obsessed much? Because he's looking at the Andor Hollow figure. Seriously, man, I didn't even know you could switch lobbies to be honest. I'll have to double check sometime maybe this weekend and I'll see what I was on, but I queued up. Like I just loaded the game and I think I just queued up and was literally able to get into some quick matches and stuff like that. So, and I was playing against people. So, yeah. Maybe it was the time. Of course, I think I was playing Friday night for me. Yeah. Friday night for me after midnight. So it was a weekend. You won't have a problem with me. Yeah, the crazy thing though is that like I generally remember what happens in season one, but like the timeline of it all, like I remember how like the season ends. It's just again like each. That's why we're watching it again in like like the three show chapters because that's how they set up the show too, which makes sense. So if this is 4, 5, and 6, then we'll do 7, 8, and 9, and I think 10, 11, 12 is this is what I'm thinking about how it ends up ending, but. Am I keeping you up? Go clean some coins. I don't like seeing you nervous. Never gonna be perfect. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. The big heist. So we get to actually see the big heist in this next show, so okay. And we are officially done with episode 5. Wow. That was the axe forgets. Next is the eye. Well, I'm just gonna let it keep playing. And then I'll start the timer when the new show starts. All right, last one for the night. Well, there was 5 minutes worth of credits, so we'll go ahead and start it now. So, on the count of here we go, we're jumping the 10 minutes worth of credits.
And here we go.
All right, last episode 6 with the lovely logo. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once to something real? Previously on Andor. Revenge? Crates of payroll.
Spare any credits.
They are about to go get a couple. I've been immensely enjoying the series, but when I saw the eye, I knew this show was something truly special. And we all get to enjoy it together. Oh. Episode 6. They're going for the heist. It'll all be over. Or just starting. Yeah. Oh, we will see. We will see. So yeah, that definitely cuts off some of the time off of it too. It was literally there was like 6 minutes worth of credits after that. So I mean, theoretically, we could skip the intros and stuff, but I actually like watching them because if I'm talking and chatting, it kind of gives me a good.
Here we go.
Yep. Yep. Dang. Get ready for the heist. So let's see, what is after this? So then 7 is announcement. Arcana 5. Nobody's listening. One way out. Barracks. I don't care enough to learn the rules. Take what we're He was actually giving him a pep talk right there, which is kind of cool. Don't see them having a choice. Quite the celestial spectacle. The Colonel. Perfect. I want that word ringing in your ears. Not anymore. It was the radio was procured. Safe travels. He was a stormtrooper. They are not fans of stormtroopers either. Has started. Guests are arriving. Do it quietly. You're a soldier now. Remember, we belong here. We belong here. All right. Time for the plan to happen. What's cool about this scene right here is particularly is that you can actually get really nervous with them as they're doing it because you don't want them to get caught or anything to go wrong for that matter. The boy is ill. His sash does not fit well. Perhaps you've expanded. Exactly. Hmm. You shall pass. Nothing to see here. Dom made it back. Welcome back, sir. Quad 3, why don't you come over? As he kicks him with the, he knocks into him with the blaster. Like, you still kind of don't get the feeling that, like, even these Imperial troopers are, like, the best of the best in that sense of, like, you know. They will bring the ceremonial fur out. Yeah. That's what I meant, though. I mean, as strict as they were trying to give them training, which was fine, it's almost kind of like they could get away with a little bit of stuff here and there, though, too. I mean, it's not like they were trying to fool the emperor or something, you know. You do the talking. Let's make quick work of it. Enter our sacred temple. Peace to those who come in. And she ran. Oh, that's interesting. Kay says Tony Gilroy originally wanted many more Aldani people to show up for the Eye, but COVID prevented it. So he came up with the idea of how the Empire dwindled their numbers down in that oppressive way. Smart. Which, I mean, if this was definitely filmed during the COVID era, also too, like, you know, part of that, I mean, definitely shows why it took so long. Also. Are we doing it? Are we going? Given the gift of absence. And they jump. I just Empire dwindled their numbers. Oh, Fee Monster, what be happening? I am so tired. I am right with you, actually. This is the podcast, so it's a talk and watch party. Currently, right now, we are actually finishing, we're getting toward the end of the episode tonight, anyway, of the podcast, but we are actually currently live watching Andor Season 1, Episode 6. We're about 21 minutes, 5 seconds into the episode. But yeah, this is the Wednesday night for me is the podcast, which is basically a talk and watch party where we actively watch while we talk, chat, open the floodgates of what we like, don't like, of what we're watching, and all things that we love as well, too. So it's currently what we are doing. So if you have not seen Andor, it is highly, highly, highly a great show and definitely worth watching. So but Ophi, welcome back. Glad to see you. Again, this is Wednesday, so we made it halfway through the week. So I hope you're having a great and safe week in your part of the galaxy. as always, as always. But yeah. And it's pretty intense. Yeah, I mean, I personally like I've watched Andor season 1 and barely started season 2, so with the podcast, I mean, we're gonna definitely finish watching season 1, go to season 2, and then finish and top it all off with some Rogue One. So nah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, it's a really cool show. Multiple storylines are going on throughout the entire show, so it's pretty it can get pretty intense. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. No worries. But I'll be back later tonight, Thursday night, for some Dark Souls. Friday, Saturday will be more variety, and Sunday will be Dead by Daylight. But Ophi, thank you for stopping in. Greatly appreciate it. Now it's getting intense. Seriously, all the comms don't. Ooh. You can thank Twitch and YouTube for that. I would absolutely play them if they allowed it. The problem is that if I pushed it over, they would absolutely just copyright strike the whole stream. Don't kill us anyway. Ads. Well, for those of you, you can guys get ad breaks. So it'll change up things a little bit. Everything else is fine for some reason. Ooh. Now I gotta find out what game are they playing. Andor Season 1, Episode 6 of the Eye. Imperial soldiers are playing a custom unnamed table game featuring hexagonal domino-like cards. While some fans on Reddit speculated it could be a version of Sabacc, others pointed out it is a unique cooperative or competitive strategic game designed for the show. Custom game that they have not filtered out at all. Oh, it's getting interesting. Oh, he was able to decrypt the code. You gotta fund a rebellion somehow. Vault breach. And mysteriously everything gets turned off. They're just celebrating. All nice, all neat. Burning their fur in celebration while they steal all the money. Oh, they steal the money. You know, what I can't remember is if they actually get all of it or some of it. Wow. That's pretty. With the lights off of the the facility, they were actually able to see the air command. Loading up ties. That'd actually be pretty cool too to get a TIE fighter pilot helmet also. Ooh. They were found out. Ooh. There's lots of pew 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 going on right now. If anybody was interested. And this. He helped them. Gotta love the classic tie sound. Where's the helmet go? Where are we going? Well, technically, they should also have shields, right? I would think. Because basically, they're driving like an armored car, right? Yeah, this scene is pretty epic. Not gonna lie. Like, what an introduction to the show, you know? I mean, midway through season one. Smart. Luck drives the whole damn galaxy. That's an awesome, awesome saying. Is it luck or the force? Or both, actually. Jen, good to see you. Yep, we're wrapping up Andor, season one, episode 6. But thank you for popping in. Beskar hugs for you. have fun getting ready for work. Please enjoy your day. We will catch you up sooner or later. All right. I am. It's been a Wednesday and a week, but we're here hanging out, having fun. So keeping things positive, right? No, thank you, Jen. Thank you. But have a great day. I'm about to get some sleep soon, actually. And nothing is back. We are wrapping things up. We're basically done, but the episode is still going. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Not, I mean, ooh, I am not that far behind you. Get some good sleep, nothing. Liberating. You decide what it says. That's actually very true. Really? I was kidding. And we are done with episode 6. Wow. Officially done. So that wraps up episode 4, which was scrolled up weird. Aldani, episode 5, The Axe Forgets, and episode 6, The Eye. And so it begins. Absolutely. B is back with us. What is going on, B? Yep, we are wrapping up the podcast for tonight's, but yes, tonight's was Andor season 1, episodes 4, 5, and 6 done. We can probably stop this at this point because we can actually say we are officially halfway done with Andor season 1, which weirdly enough it doesn't feel like it, but it does. Because we're doing 3 episodes per podcast, so I mean within the next 2 weeks we'll have season 1 already done, which is crazy to think about also, but yeah. Yeah, it's definitely really cool to go back and actually rewatch these again too. Even while we're watching and talking, I'm listening to the whole thing as it goes on anyway. So multitasking at the same time, but also refreshing the story. And even when we watch season 2, it'll be the same thing regardless. But either way, it's definitely going to be crazy fun because I definitely cannot wait for season 2. Because season 2 is just going to be like, ooh, all sorts of good fun stuff. But okay, yeah, that's going to wrap things up because what time are we on? Let me see. Take a look. Make sure we still cut it under 2 hours, 53 minutes. Okay, so we're going to wrap things up then at this point. So, because I can also cut out the other parts. But you're currently at war with your cousin on Warhammer 3. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, B. Like we were talking about, yeah, we'll definitely set up some time to start playing. Like I said, yeah, the longest chunks of free time I officially have is definitely definitely during stream times, usually. So we can figure out some time at some point. And like I said, even if you don't want to do it on stream, that's perfectly fine with me. We can still figure out a time regardless. So enjoy your war, sir. Yes, there will be plenty more to be had and have, I guess. But yeah, absolutely. Freaking can't believe it. We're done with episode, what is this now? 12. Episode 12 of the podcast. We've done 12 podcast episodes, actually. And I believe episode 11 I was able to finally upload tonight, too. So I'll double check. But either way, like I said, absolutely. No, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for chatting. Thank you guys for throwing in your, like I said, 2 credits, I guess, in this sense, for watching and being a part of another podcast episode, actually, because like I said, it's all of us that's part of the podcast, not just me. It's definitely all of us too, because we're interacting, we're talking, we're throwing stuff out there and just basically going off on what we think we want to hear and know and believe in and all that good stuff, and it's just absolutely awesome regardless. Absolutely. Right back at you, Grave. It's always great to see everybody coming back and hanging out and chilling and just being awesome as always. So yep, we're going to wrap things up so I can try to get under that 3-hour mark, unfortunately, because like I said, well, actually, fortunately too, because if I do get flagged regardless, I mean, it's okay because I edit out the beginning, because the beginning when I start the stream anyway, I cut that, basically trim it down so then that way at least the episode works even better if it does get flagged, but I think it shouldn't, because like I said, for whatever reason, it was the Boba Fett crawling out of the Sarlacc, like the music that plays in that particular redeem gets flagged on Spotify. So like I said, all I had to do was go back and trim it and mute that part basically, but it was perfectly fine. But either way, yes. So again, anybody new and returning to the stream, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, you awesomely beautiful people of the galaxy, and welcome again to another episode of the Darth Asylum podcast. This is episode number 12. Yes, episode number 12. I am your host of Darth Asylum, broadcasting live from hyperspace, and what we just finished watching was Andor season 1, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Crazy awesome. Lots of good stuff happened. And yep, we're going to be watching next week 7, 8, and 9. The week after that, 10, 11, 12, and then the week after that, which is basically 3 weeks out, we'll be starting season 2, which is going to be freaking awesome. Once we finish season 2, over the next couple of weeks, few weeks actually, I guess at this point, we'll be topping it all off with some Rogue One. Can't wait. It'll be definitely something crazy fun and crazy cool. But yes, absolutely. This is what fandom should be about, sharing the love of something with each other. That's exactly what my stream is all about in general too. It's just being passionate about what we love, sharing it with everybody else, and also just pushing that passion out and sharing it together at the same time. And you know what, like I say, always the galaxy needs more heroes than villains, so that way it gives everybody a comfortable place to be able to come to, chat, chill, hang out, be ourselves, and just have a good time either way. So no, absolutely, thank you guys always, always, always for your support. Shout outs again to Hunter for throwing out those subs earlier, man. Thank you very much, dude. Absolutely not needed, but greatly appreciated. Same thing with B. Thank you guys for your crazy, crazy, crazy support. It's just been awesome because that just is going towards a very, very good place, actually. So thank you guys again very much. And anybody and everybody else, please do not forget for your lurks, for hanging out, chatting or not. Absolutely. And B's gifting 10 more subs just because of that. Dang it. Dang it, B. I need to tell you to stop it. Stop it, stop it. Game got a sub. It's Jedi got a sub. Zero got a sub. Moss X got a sub. Saiyan got a sub. Agas got a sub. Hart got a sub. Horny the Clown got a sub. We had to say that one. Party with Tibbers got a sub. Bionics got a sub. Holy crap, man. B. I guess I got another stream. Theoretically, I would actually, but no, I do have to wrap things up because I am going to have an early morning regardless. But no, yeah, just exactly like what Kay said again. I will reiterate: this is what fandom should be about: sharing the love of something with each other. That is perfectly said, Kay. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, it's easier just to end the podcast, and then that way, you know what, we can come back tomorrow night refreshed, one other day closer to that weekend so we can finish up our weeks and then just have some more fun. Like I said, stream days are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, attempting to start around that 12 midnight mark of Pacific West Coast time. Yes, I am in California. Wednesday night is the podcast. We just got done with episode 12. Episode 13 is next, and that will be Andor season 1, as I can't talk and think. Andor season 1 episodes. Now that we just got done with 4, 5, and 6, that will be 7, 8, and 9. Thursday night is Dark Souls Remastered's Let's Play, first playthrough of that. Friday, Saturday is going to be a variety, kind of mix of some different games, and Sunday night is going to be some Dead by Daylight. Aussie streaming, want to try to rate him? Absolutely. Yeah, we totally can. I'm definitely down for that. And thank you for reminding me, man. Because again, I always just completely forget because at this point I'm basically running on fumes. So thank you again for the reminder. Absolutely. I do sound tired. I'm just like, so yes, we are going to wrap things up. So again, I hope and wish everybody's having a great and safe week in your parts of the galaxy. And yes, we will be back later tonight, Thursday night, refreshed, re-energized for some Dark Souls Remastered to make some more progress. I'm really getting into that game because yes, we are finally getting our I don't even know what you want to call it, our way into it to be able to kind of figure things out, make some progress, feel more confident playing the game. So then that way, you know what? We are still going to die tons and tons and tons, but it doesn't feel as horrible because we do like torturing ourselves too. So, you know what? That's all part of the fun, regardless. So, either way. Yes. So that'll be later tonight, Thursday night. So again, if I do not see you, please continue to have a great and safe week in your parts of the galaxy. Let's do what we do what we absolutely need to do to finish it up, make it to the weekend, and have a great and safe brand new weekend as well. So yes, please stick around. We're going to raid Aussie, another really cool, awesome Australian man who plays Star Wars The Old Republic. He's been playing some Crimson Dawn, so we'll pick his brain a little bit about that. The new game that just came out too, so that looks really cool also. So I'm sure I'll be playing that at some point when it's on like 70% off, like 3 years down the line, because that's finally when I'll get a chance to play that, because I have a gazillion other games to play at some point anyway. So again, thank you guys for being the legends that you all are. No take backsies, infinity. It is always my honor and privilege to be able to hang out with all of you. Please remember that. Please remember how special you guys all are. Absolutely. Day in and day out. Beskar hugs to all. Always. You know, it's tough to hear some, you know, just what's going on in the galaxy and all that good stuff. But please remember that you are absolutely important. What you do and what you say is absolutely important too. So again, Beskar hugs to everybody. And dang it, I know I beat you to it this time. So yes, please remember that the Force makes you special, absolutely unique, and do not change for anybody else as well, with that on top. So again, time to get out of here. Please stick around. We're going to raid Aussie. So time to wrap things up. So officially, we will catch you guys soon, like I said, for some Dark Souls progress, but death at the same time. So either way, we're going to make it work. So, all right, guys, time to get out of here. So until then, be good, be safe, love you, and talk to you later.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.